Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey there, Mike.
Everybody hear me?
Does someone need to rescue Dr. Ryan?
Yeah, that's cool.
That looks like it must be a new protocol to kill the virus before it enters your body.
Exactly, Randy. We freeze it first.
Shit.
Hey, Randy. Watson.
Yes, I'm here.
Does Frothy Cup have hot chocolate?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna call you after this.
Okay, yeah, multiple choices of hot chocolate.
Perfect. Thank you.
You bet.
It's so dark.
Let's go ahead and get started. It's good to see everybody on. I hope everybody is unburied from the snow that we had. We were told we were going to have 3+ feet. Kind of glad we didn't. I think what we got was going to help our moisture levels out a little bit, and we'll be able to dig out hopefully pretty quick. Dr. Ryan's with us, so we always like to hear from him and give us an update of where our COVID levels are, cases, vaccines, testing, all that good stuff. So, Dr. Ryan, I'm going to give you the floor and let you give us an update.
Thanks, Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully you've dug out of your situation. Where do we stand right now? Right now we have 14 cases in the last 2 weeks, putting our cumulative incident rate at 143 per 100,000. Test positivity rate, our 2 week is about 5.6. 1 week is 7.32. So we've been basically maintaining that for the last several weeks. As far as testing is concerned, we still have the community testing in Idaho Springs. That will take place again tomorrow. We have commenced testing as well back in the jail and in the school system. Students are now eligible with parent permission to get tested as well. And we're hoping to have at least a dozen or so students each week get tested. That seems to be going very well. Vaccines. We have a clinic this Wednesday. We really tried to focus on people 60 and over and try to limit as many under 60 as we possibly could, with some success in doing that. We have reached out to you. Alyssa has sent all of you an email trying to understand how many of you and your employees would like to get vaccinated. We are trying to plan a employee-only vaccine clinic. We are vaccinating just your employees. So if you guys can round up that list and get it to us, it will give us a sense of how many vaccines we're going to need for said clinic, and try to get you guys vaccinated as quickly as we possibly can. We're going to try to do the Janssen vaccine primarily because it's a one and done. It won't require your employees to come back. We won't have to follow up or any of that sort of stuff. And it will give them their maximum immunity as quickly as possible without having to forego that 6-week wait period post second or first shot. So we don't know yet when we can get Janssen vaccine again. Word on the street is that it will be arriving next week, although we tried to order some for next week and we're unable to actually order any. So it might be 2 weeks before we get that in. But please fill out that form. Please let us know as many of your employees that would like it. If any of your employees have questions, comments, concerns, please send them our way. We're more than happy to answer their questions about the vaccine, about the process, et cetera. Any questions so far?
Hey, Dr. Ryan, if I remember that form right, it's only asking for the quantity of employees. Is that correct?
I believe so. Alyssa, is that correct?
That is correct. I just put the link into the chat. So if you haven't done so already, please fill that out. It's just asking the number of people so that we can get a head count to get numbers from the state. I also put in a question about your hours of operation. We're trying to find a time that works for everybody. I know that's going to be difficult with restaurants. And so we're going to try to do it during an off time. So not during lunch, not during dinner. So please make sure you're accurate with that information as well.
Any other questions?
Right, no questions for Dr. Ryan? All right. Thank you, Dr. Ryan, for joining us as usual. And hopefully we can get these vaccines continually to go and keep poking away at everybody. All right, with that, let's kind of go a quick around the table. We know that we got a good dumping of snow this weekend, and some of our businesses decided just to close down and weather it out, no pun intended. So Steve, what do you have for this weekend?
Yeah, we decided to stay open yesterday and did it on a super skeletal crew, and so skeletal that I was on the line cooking burgers for a couple hours. Sorry if you came in for that. It was actually pretty good day because we were not very many people were open, and we probably could have even been busier, but there just wasn't any place to park because of all the snow. The people that did come in were kind of beaching their car into the side of the road, and quite a few campers just hanging out while the highway was closed or something. But it went pretty well all in all. And today we're doing flood mitigation out front. The street's melting fast and starting to come over the sidewalk down by us, so we're pushing her down the street. So pretty good day though.
All right.
Beautiful.
Sadie.
We were open Saturday, but we did not elect to open yesterday, mainly because there was no way in green earth that I was getting out of my driveway yesterday. At the top of Blackhawk up here, we're at the top of 46 and 119. We got upwards of 3 feet. Almost 4 probably. So we spent all day digging and snow blowing out. I did have a question. Friday, the traffic was outrageous. And I had a question about what was the reason that the first exit was closed down by the police station, and if the accident was, anyway, I just wanted to know that because I had quite a few, like I couldn't get through, and there was quite a few others, and we had like a couple employees that couldn't get through either. And then they were over an hour late because they had to get back on I-70 and go to the second exit to get down to downtown. Was that mainly to keep people from clogging up the streets for emergency vehicles?
That's exactly what that was for. Whenever I started seeing pictures of people on Virginia and High Street and everywhere in town, we knew that if there was an emergency here in town. So I asked Mark Hamschmidt, our acting chief, to go ahead and close that off. I know that turned into a big, we had to put everybody back on the highway. We didn't have the manpower, and to sit there and check IDs. I don't know if you probably saw the Facebook post, but I can't win for losing on anything. I try something, try to be fair to everybody, and then all of a sudden, I'm the biggest idiot and stupid and cussing me out and saying things about me, but I felt it was right to do. The citizens of our community were already complaining that they couldn't get out. From what I understand, we had some residents in the city standing out in their front yards and their balconies, screaming and yelling and cussing at people get out of our town, F you don't belong here. Or, it just was kind of nasty. But that's what it was. We were putting people back on. We were timing it. It was about 5 or 6 minutes to the next exit. There was a perception that we closed down the town. We didn't. We just closed down that one exit. Everybody could get in town at 2:40. I mean, and if we didn't block off that exit, it would just stay gridlocked because, it was, the traffic was moving a little bit because they were taking them off in Dumont and putting them back on where the spill happened at. So, it's not like it was a parking lot and there was no movement. It was moving, but it was moving very slow. So
Yeah, I don't disagree with your choice. I just wanted to make sure that that's the reason for it. Luckily, I'm not on the Facebook anymore, so I don't hear about those things. I just wanted to make sure that was the reason. And the officer that was stationed at the corner, he was like, yeah, I know it's a pain in the butt. He's like, just get back on. It won't take you very long. So it really did help break the traffic up. And I think the only thing, we did end up having a great Friday. It just was a slower start to our Friday than we're used to, just because I think people were confused and how people can, like you said, you can't win for losing, but it was fine by the time we got through the day.
Yeah.
And hey,
so once it opened up, Sadie, by the time it was 3:00 in the afternoon, then all of a sudden we had a weekend traffic tied into it. So that's what happened is by the time the wreck got cleared, they got it all cleaned up. Then it was just a Friday, people that were going up to the night. So that's why it just kept on going as kind of a delay type thing and slow moving. So, we did what we thought was right. I think we did a good job and relieved. And I believe that most of the community was very appreciative that we got the traffic out so they could go to the bank, so they could go to the grocery store and things like that.
Hey, Mike, and again, the people who were getting off to come through town had already been sitting obviously in traffic on I-70, and they were already a little pissed off from all the traffic they had. And I had a situation where, I had cars going the wrong way on Minor Street because they were so pissed off. They knew it was one way, but they didn't care. They were just trying to get around traffic. So it was actually starting to become a little bit dangerous, I thought.
Yeah, and I did hear that. That was another reason it was, it was not working and somebody's going to get hurt. So we just closed the exit off. All right.
I do think that if in the future we have the opportunity to that officer was sitting there and he could have let a few people in or here and there if they had their ID. I understand your process, but I don't know if we have a way in the future of figuring something out.
So, I would have considered that. But what was happening is people were going halfway around the roundabout, and then all of a sudden they were taking a short right turn going the wrong way on Colorado Boulevard. Can you imagine what I'm talking about? So instead of going and get back on all of a sudden they took a right and started going. So there was a couple of occasions that our officer was put in a very dangerous situation, and for him to be sitting there checking IDs. And
when I went through the roundabout, the whole roundabout was full of cars. They were parked all in the roundabout on the sidewalk portion of the roundabout was full. When I went through was full of cars parked. And then there was people being absolutely ridiculous, walking through the roundabout to try to get to Starbucks and the coffee shops. They were walking through traffic. It was, like I said, I know you have no winning in those situations. People are stupid.
All right. Thank you, Sadie. Linda, how was your weekend? And were you open both days or?
No, we closed on Sunday and Monday. Just had an employee who could walk, go to the store Saturday and do some shoveling and be open for a little bit. But I just decided to keep the employees off the streets for a couple days. And we'll be open again tomorrow.
Okay, good. And that's kind of the same thing that I did. I closed down early Saturday, Sunday, and today to get my parking lot. It was going to take most of the day to get my parking lot cleared for people to get in there. So, okay, let's see. I saw Marcel. Is he still with? Yeah, Marcel, how was your weekend?
It was interesting. Saturday we closed early. And then Sunday, I did not open because pretty much all of my employees that were scheduled that day were driving up from Denver. So we just didn't even open. And then I got stuck in that train wreck trying to get back over Floyd Hill. So I almost slept at the restaurant, but I was able to make it home that evening. But yeah, I mean, for us, I was just trying to get snow off the sidewalk all weekend. And of course, scooping it this morning before it gets too sloppy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next weekend. I think with this snow that came in, everybody's going to be coming through. We're going to get steamrolled this next weekend. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, the weather's supposed to be really good next weekend too, Marcel.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm staffing up.
All right. Hey, Mark, up in Georgetown, how much snow did you get up there, and how did it affect your business up there?
Well, we probably got 2 feet or 30 inches, somewhere in there. And we threw in the towel for yesterday, and we're getting a few people in today, which is good. Yeah, hopefully next weekend we'll make up for a little bit on this weekend.
All right.
That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Lindsay, you have an update for us?
Oops, sorry, trying to unmute. Yeah, we closed yesterday. Part of me wishes we had stayed open because I understand there was quite a bit of skier traffic in the morning, but we did decide to close. Saturday was very, very slow. We did open today and have done really well for a Monday. So we do plan on being open tomorrow and Wednesday. I guess we'll kind of just play it by ear again and see. But as of now, we're planning on staying open.
All right. Thanks, Lindsay. Real quick, Danny from the Interstate Parking. Do we have people out here this weekend or not so much? What was going on with your group this weekend?
Yeah, we didn't have much traffic over the weekend. Some obviously quite a bit on Friday, some on Saturday, but very, very, very quiet yesterday. So not much going on in the parking world over the weekend, unfortunately. Happy to have those spots back though in Main City. Well, some of them.
All right, thank you, Danny. Chip, do you know anything? What's going on with Bojo's this weekend? How'd y'all do?
We were closed most of the weekend. Again, like Marcel, I decided, a lot of our employees are down in the city. When I saw that it was raining in the morning, it was going to be turning icy and so forth. The roads were going to be pretty nasty. We just shut it down for most of the weekend. We're actually open now. I just took a look and it seems like we're doing okay this morning.
Okay, good. All right. Let's see, TJ.
Yeah, we also closed yesterday. Just kind of hung out around the restaurant, keeping the snow off of our tents, shoveling the sidewalk, and watching golf. Rest of the weekend wasn't too bad though. Saturday kind of rallied later on in the evening. Probably do some other closures as well. Not a bad overall weekend. And today's looking promising. Seems to be a little bit returned to normal. So the apocalypse is over. We'll have some people in town.
All right, thanks, TJ. All right, so as we continue to move forward, we'll be out of spring break in a couple of weeks, and we're going to spend a little more time with our barriers out on Minor Street. I still believe that everybody is on good for that. Is it the first week? Andy, do you have that date, or John, do you have that date that we have set as our drop dead weekend?
Did we talk about the 15th?
Was that Monday the 5th, or is that Monday the 15th?
I think that's a Saturday.
I have you guys removing the barriers on May 13th, which is a Thursday. And then that Friday, the 14th of May, is when the street closure would be in effect that's what I have written down.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, I was just looking through my calendar. Okay, great. We will still make that happen. We'll make sure that John Bordoni connects with CDOT, because they'll have to, when we start moving these things, they're going to have to bring their low boy in so we can load them on there and get them out of there. Steve and Marcel, if you want to keep some of those, we need to either try to work something out with CDOT, or we need to figure out a way to buy some, get you some that you can call your own. So
Okay. When's a good time for us to address that?
all I would do, I would say, as long as we know about the 1st of May.
You want me to just send you an email and just propose some solutions?
Yep. You got
Okay.
it.
All right.
You got it.
Steve, if you have any good ideas, let me know, because I'll bet you'll come up with them first.
All right. Alyssa, do you have any other updates for us?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, just so everyone knows, the survey went live today. So if you could make sure that people that live in the county are filling that out, it's going to be open for a month. I will put the link to the website in the chat, and then anyone that lives in the county is also going to be receiving an envelope in the mail with the survey. So make sure you don't throw that away. And thank you for your help in getting the word out there.
All right. Thanks, Alyssa. All right. I just want to open it up. Round table. So John or Andy, do you have anything? Sadie?
Do you have an update for us, Mike, on the street end barriers? Have you gotten anything back on that?
I have not got the price. Greg Abrahamson sent me a rough drawing, but it's nothing we can go by. I'm going to go over there tomorrow and talk to Lee and get these things going. It just kind of talks through some things. If we can do to redesign on the fly between us to come up with something that's going to look attractive and work for us.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike, it's Carla. My internet's not working very well today, so I've got the video off. If you need me to help walk through, or if you think it would be helpful at all, I mean, I can speak that language if it's at all helpful. I'm just going to put it out there to you.
Okay, so why don't we do that? Carla, we need to just check availability for the next couple of days, and we'll just go over there together. We'll call Lee and we'll go over there together and talk through it with him.
Okay.
Great. I'll give you a shout, and we'll come up. I'll text you and we'll come up with a date.
Yep, I'm happy to do that. Let me know.
Okay, thanks, Carla.
And then also, Mike, did you get my email about the market presentation, either presenting it to this group or to council or to you personally, or how you want to go about doing that? Because we're pretty dang close. I have a summary, and then the final presentation, we're currently working on it. So we'll have that done in the next week or so.
Okay, so Andy, we probably ought to put that on a work session, right? So the ideas can be presented to council.
Yes. Sadie, were you thinking of bringing them here first to this group, and then we go to council, perhaps?
Yes, that's what I just thought about that. Let's do that. Present to this group, and then a presentation to council.
So,
Okay.
Sadie, maybe next week's meeting at 2.
Sure. I'm like I said, I'm ready to present like the summary that would go to this group, and then the finalized like actual presentation to city council. I can do that whenever, like the end of the month, whatever you guys need me to do.
Okay,
That works.
We'll make that happen. And thanks. I sent you an email, Sadie. Thank you for spearheading this, with this, our downtown merchants. Thank you so much.
Hey, Sadie, would the work session with city council the first Monday in April, would that work for you, or is that too far out? I'm just thinking about the agendas that we already have.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. Really, most everything that we've already decided, everybody's pretty in agreement on. I don't think they'll take a ton to execute in timeline wise. So yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's shoot for that first Monday in April, probably 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
I was just curious about conversations that might be happening along the lines of summer events, such as the fireworks and the usual things that we missed last year.
So I don't know if you heard, so the city council a few weeks ago, it's been, I think 2 weeks ago now, after our discussion and work session, not knowing where our COVID levels were going, where we were, and a lot of direction that Dr. Ryan was saying, you know, these events you might want to really think about having. So we told the community that we weren't going to do special events. We weren't going to take applications. Lo and behold, 2 days later, all of a sudden we go to Blue and we're starting to get all this relief. And then another discussion with Dr. Ryan, he said, you know what, if you do it right, Mike, and you make sure that we go through a good process, then, you know, I have no problem with it. So what the city has done is we have opened back up for people to be able to do special events. There are going to be some additional requirements this year, and it may even go on into the future, you know, depending on COVID. So we are entertaining anybody that wants to do events. What will happen is they will have to go to public health first with a plan of how they are spacing everything out, how many people they're going to have there, how they're going to control the crowds, how they're going to do social distancing. So they'll have to go through public health and get approval through Rebecca Abrahamson. Once that's done, then they can bring that approval paper to the city and go ahead and fill out an application and start planning the event. So what will happen with that one is they will have to check off on that they understand that if our levels start going up again, we start moving in our COVID meter, that the event could very well be canceled to the city. Also, the other thing, we had another thing on there that will have to happen is 4 weeks prior to the event, they will have to go back to public health, and Rebecca will check to make sure that we haven't changed any, less restrictive, and potentially modify the event. So if we go, say, from blue to yellow, you know, that's less people there. There's a lot more restrictions, and they have to redo their plan to get it signed off from the public health. As far as 4th of July, you know, that is something that, one, I've got a strange suspicion that, you know, we're probably going to have dry weather again this year. Phyllis Adams usually does that event for us, and council decided that we would go ahead and postpone the fireworks because that is a big crowd gathering, bringing people, a lot of people in to hang out. And what I mean by hang out in our community is they get here and they just kind of, some of them just park their cars here and leave and come back for the fireworks. So yes, we will have some bands and some types of events, but we've already decided that, you know, we have until what, Andy, May? Is that May 1st to call those off?
June 6th.
June 6th, we can actually call them. So, I mean, if we start getting dumps of rain, then you know, the city needs to talk about if we can do them. Does it make sense under what level we're at to say, hey, people from down in Denver, we're doing fireworks, come up and be in our community. So we just want to play it real safely about how this will go down. Did that answer your question, Linda? Okay, thank you.
I might just add that we will have to make a decision, go or no go, on the bans probably early May from what Phyllis shared with us. So we do have a little bit more time to work with, but we'll have some decisions to make here in the near future. And if the fireworks are postponed, it is in our contract. Some of you may recall, it is in our contract that the alternate date would be the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And that's typically Small Business Saturday. And we also do the tree lighting that evening, Saturday evening. So we'll try to make that a particularly special event if the fireworks get postponed.
All right, anybody have anything else?
Hey, Mike, this is Lindsay. Just another reminder to everyone, and I'll put it in the chat now. We are still collecting responses to our business impact survey. So this is separate from the survey that the county's doing, and this is specifically to collect quarterly information from Clear Creek County businesses. So you'll see the same survey coming up quarterly. But would love to get your feedback. We'll be doing, I'll probably keep this up another week to 2 weeks. We've had about 30 responses so far. Would like to get a few more, and then we will be putting out a report each quarter on this.
All right, thanks for the update, Lindsay. All right, could be a short meeting. We can get 30 minutes back to us. Does anybody have anything else that we need to be talking about? Randy, I didn't call on you today. Do you have anything for us?
No, I mean, really the same observation from a business standpoint that everybody else mentioned. We stayed open both Saturday and Sunday just because as a coffee shop, we thought we should try and really stay open with hot drinks. But we ran about 30% of what we normally would have. And today's a little bit slow, but let me just take a quick peek. But is probably going to come in close to normal, 75% of normal or something like that. But that's really it. It was obviously a weird weekend for all of us.
Okay. Thanks, Randy. All right. I think what we need to do now is get out and make sure we can get all of our businesses open for tomorrow and get that snow out of those areas that we have blocked off for you. Carla, you have something for us?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that the preschool playground will be opening this week. We've got the fence in, and we're gonna fence off so the little guys can't get into the construction area, but the pre-K will be on their playground this weekend, and we're pouring our retaining wall hopefully later this week for the turf that we still are working to get donations for.
All right, thanks. That's good news. Thank you, Carla.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else? All right, everybody hang in there. We try to keep everybody updated what's going around the city and how we're doing. And I'm glad to see that they got the parking lot back to us. And of course, it dumped snow on us. So, so CDOT's probably said, see, we could have been back there another week. No, I'm sure they're not saying that. So, all right, very good. Thanks, everybody. Andy, you have something else?
Yes, just as a reminder, you may have seen it, but the Downtown Improvements Work Group meeting following this meeting was canceled for this week. So we'll give you a break from that as well. We'll resume next week.
All right, thank you, Andy. All right, thanks, everybody. You have our phone numbers and our emails. If something comes up, feel free to reach out to us. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye, everybody.